Carlos Gimenez met with Ortiz yesterday. And Congressman, what was his message? What did you get out of that meeting?
No, he admitted that the morale of the of Customs and Border Protection agents is at an all-time low. He also, we asked him how many encounters they've had. I mean, the first quarter of this year, they had over 650,000 encounters. That means that if you took that on a yearly basis, that's over 2.6 million encounters. We asked him how many were not encountered, how many people just slipped by the border. He took a guess saying close to 800,000 probably come through undetected. So we're talking about over 3 million immigrants are crossing the border, and so yeah, it's a difficult situation. He was frank, but look, he has to toe the line. He does have a boss, and his boss expects him to say certain things and not say other things, and so it was quite eye-opening. And I appreciate his frankness, but I also understand the difficult position he's in.
You mentioned frankness. Was there transparency? Did the administration, through Raul Ortiz, promise any more transparency, especially in light of those secret migrant flights that we've been showing for the last week?
No, he didn't. He also admitted that there are differences in policies in the northern border and the southern border. He asked for more technology to help him, more people to help him, but he didn't ask for a wall. And yet I know that when I went to the border back in March, the Customs and Border Protection agents on the ground wanted that wall built. They will not build that wall because that wall will be a symbol of what can be. And this entire crisis is one of President Biden's making, Mayorkas making. Their policies are causing this wild influx and rush to the border, and it's overwhelming our agents, and that's the reason why their morale is so low.
Congressman, do you think he is satisfied with the way the Biden administration has made decisions with this?
Look, I'm not getting into his head. Obviously, he's the chief. If I were the chief, I certainly wouldn't be satisfied. I know what was working before, and all of a sudden you come in on January 20th, of 2021, you change the world, and then all of a sudden you have this wild influx, this massive influx of immigrants, and they're basically overrunning your agency. That's not a recipe for success, and I'm sure that he'd like to see things change, but he really can't say that because he works for the president and the secretary.
When COVID officially becomes endemic, did he say anything about remaining in Mexico?
Well, yeah, because he's actually afraid that Title 42 will be eliminated, because that's one of the tools that he used to deport whoever it is they're deporting. He also didn't tell us. I asked him specifically, how many of the over 2 million immigrants that you've encountered are still in the United States? He didn't give me a good answer on that. So I would expect that the vast majority of those 2 million are somewhere in the United States. Some of them are being taken back to Mexico using Title 42, both in Mexico and the northern border with Canada. But the change in policy is really what's causing this morale to be so low in Customs and Border Protection. We had this under control under the Trump administration. It's just the hard-headedness, and I don't know. You can't be this dumb, okay? I mean, you just can't be this stupid to change all these policies, and then they will never go back to the policies that work, because then they'd have to admit, what, President Trump was right all along. We need to go back to those policies.
It has to be purposeful, Congressman. I agree. It has to be.
And we only have a little less than a minute here, but Ron DeSantis, he was talking about the border issues, and he wants them to stay out of Florida. I'm just going to read this for you. It says, "We don't want the problems from the southern border to be imported into the state of Florida. So the people that are instrumental in that, we want to hold accountable. We're not going to let the Biden administration's recklessness at the border impose cost of the state of Florida." So is this the new normal, to where the local and state officials have to pick up the pieces from what the feds aren't doing? 30 seconds or so less.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. Look, all these migrants are being transported all around the nation, and all these migrants are going to need services, et cetera, that costs money. And so, yeah, a lot of them are ending up in Florida, without a doubt. And the governor is right. Why should the people of Florida, the good people of Florida, have to pay for the failings of the Biden administration? So I hope, that the governor, and I know the governor will try to hold President Biden and the administration liable for all the expenses and the hardship that's being caused to the state of Florida.
It's like we had a reporter in the room. Congressman Carlos Gimenez, we appreciate